What does it all mean? We have the answers tonight on News 22.
Good evening and welcome to News 22. I'm Carmen Chow.
And I'm Michelle Geraci.
The Democratic majority in the General Assembly has recently announced a proposal that suggests the closing of a CSU school for the upcoming fiscal year. This budget would include the closing of one of the Connecticut State University campuses. It is urged by the party that this is the worst-case scenario, but would be necessary if plans for revenue enhancements are not developed. Legislators will be looking at the public's response to this budget to help them decide what they might cut. Legislators are also asking you, students, and citizens to email, write, and voice how this decision would have a negative impact on state if one of the CSU institutions were to close. Tell your parents, friends, professors, students, and alumni to write into their legislators. Visit congressweb.com for more information.
Bernard Madoff, the accused investment swindler, has agreed to plead guilty to 11 counts in the Ponzi scheme. Madoff faces 150 years in prison for money laundering, fraud, and perjury. A hearing is scheduled for Thursday. Former clients have been notified.
This week, President Obama encouraged state officials to use the stimulus package wisely. At a state official meeting in the Capitol, Obama discussed that the $787 billion economic stimulus program should be spent wisely, and it was officials' mission to make sure the money was spent the correct way.
Words like economy, stimulus package, and budget deficiency flooding the headlines, it can be confusing to the non-political science or economic majors. To sort out all the problems our country's facing, News 22 reporter James Wolfe has some explanations for us.
Political Science Department to answer some questions about the stimulus package and what it all means for students.
I like the ones in education because that is a real investment. And I think that especially if students don't have jobs upon graduation, I think the best thing they can do is get more schooling, stay in graduate school. And with the kind of money they're throwing around, you could practically give everybody in graduate school a full scholarship. That's how much money is really being flown around. For example, I've been saying this for years, for the $12 billion a month we've been spending in Iraq, we could have funded every student in this country for higher education forever. But we didn't do that. But I think I would spend it on education. I also think you have to extend unemployment benefits, for people who are working. In other words, you have to focus on the middle class, even if that means letting the poor suffer more than they already suffer, because the middle class is the backbone not only of the economy but of our political system. And if they get desperate, nobody knows what could happen. So I'd be in favor of those kinds of programs. I'd be less in favor of programs that are trying to deal with poverty, really fix drug addiction and fix all those things, because we don't know how to deal with that stuff, frankly. But in terms of making real investments in infrastructure and in human infrastructure, which is what education is, I'd take this as an opportunity to really rethink the way we fund higher education in this country.
Thanks, Professor Vasilopoulos. For more information on the spending bill and the stimulus package, talk to your local congressman. For News 22 in Webb Hall, I'm James Wolfe.
Thanks for the information, James.
The tough economic times have taken their toll not only on the lower, middle, and upper classes, but the world's richest people are also a lot poorer. This year has been a tough one for the richest people in the world. Last year, there were 1,125 billionaires. This year, there are 793. According to Yahoo, their collective net worth is $2.4 trillion, down $2 trillion from a year ago. The top of the richest people in the world list is Bill Gates. Thanks to Microsoft, his net worth is $40 billion.
If you're worried about taking the GREs, here's your chance to practice. Any student interested in learning tips about the GREs will be given an in-depth overview of the exam, including the format, scoring, sample questions, and strategies. Students who are considering applying to grad school will learn useful information about the grad school admissions process as well. The classes will take place in room 217 of the Student Center on Monday, March 16th at 6 p.m. It is free of charge.
A Connecticut college student on her way to Uganda on a humanitarian mission was killed early Saturday morning when a car driven by a drunk driver going the wrong way on Interstate 395 slammed into a van carrying 8 students. Elizabeth Durante, a junior, was killed when she was thrown from the van. Our thoughts go out to the Durante family and friends.
Apple's new iPod is smaller and smarter. Apple will launch a smaller version of the iPod Shuffle that has a new feature. It speaks the name of songs and artists. The iPod costs $79 and stores 4 gigabytes, about 1,000 songs. The new version of the iPod is said to be significantly smaller than a AA battery.
Looking for a way to kick your nicotine habit? The FDA is now looking into a high-tech alternative way that claims to stop smokers from smoking called e-cigarette. The e-cigarette looks just like a real cigarette with a filter that has a power indicator light at the end that glows red. To look like a real lit cigarette, there's a computer chip inside that helps create a nicotine vapor. The company that created the e-cigarette claimed it's the best way to stop smoking. The FDA are taking a closer look.
If you're a campus resident, an important deadline is coming up. Each spring, in order to remain on campus, the following semester, residents must submit both the housing intent form and the $250 housing deposit. This year, they're both due on March 18th. Don't forget to submit yours.
Career Services hosted a job fair this week for students looking for future employment opportunities. News 22 correspondent Megan Fox has more.
Career Services offers lots of opportunities for students looking to further their futures, whether it be finding that internship, co-op, or future employment. A great way to do this are career fairs. This week, Career Services hosted the 2009 Liberal Arts Career Fair. Career fairs are a great opportunity for students to network themselves and meet with many hiring companies in a short period of time. Nancy DiCrescenzo from Career Services told us more about career fairs.
This is Eastern's annual Liberal Arts Career Fair, so there's something for everybody here today. All majors, all levels, whether you want internship, co-op, summer job, or full-time employment.
Many companies and employers were in attendance at the career fair. Graham Chamberlain told us how the fair was beneficial to him.
I like that everybody's here. It seems like it's not a totally stressful environment. It seems like it's kind of laid back, and it just seems nice that it's just for Eastern. It's not a public one, so it's just everybody we know and just relaxed atmosphere.
Career fairs are an excellent opportunity for job seekers. Check out the Career Service website for more information and for more career fairs coming to our area. Outside the Betty Tipton Room, I'm Megan Fox for News 22.
Thanks, Megan. For more Career Service events, visit the Career Service website on Eastern's homepage.
Times are changing again. Facebook has developed a new design for its users' pages. The new design is better and more readable. The new Facebook will have updates on friends in real time, as compared to the updates that would show up in news feeds every 10 to 15 minutes. The changes are a result of competition with websites such as Twitter. With them in effect, users will be able to keep up with friends and what they are doing at the current time. The changes went into effect on Wednesday, March 11th. Enjoy.
News 22 will return after this PSA break.
Jess, I don't know what to do.
What's wrong? I thought today was the night. What happened?
I know it's supposed to be, but he doesn't have a condom. He said he doesn't have any money. He spent it all at the bar.
Well, don't go through with it if he doesn't have a condom.
I know, but he really wants it.
Oh, I know. I heard the other day that Health Services gives away free condoms.
Free condoms?
Free condoms!
Whoa! Did I just hear you guys say free condoms?
Free condoms!
Health Services not only takes care of you when you're sick, but helps you stay healthy. They provide free information, services, and free condoms. They have male and female condoms and are there for any questions you have. Stop by Health Services for any questions or concerns. Remember, Eastern, stay safe.
Hello, little prince. Mama, what we gonna do today?
We're back and we have with us James and Simone with this week's editorial.
Thanks, ladies. Welcome to News 22's editorial segment. I'm James Wolfe.
And I'm Simone Oliva. The use of the internet has primarily been the use for business tools for corporations until recent years. The internet is now a tool that is used and reachable for anyone. College students, in particular, have found innovative ways to be productive using the web. We can network, we can job search, we can communicate, we can even take classes using the web. Most college students use Facebook, which is the largest networking tool for students. Some students, there's actually millions of people that use Facebook, and over thousands of colleges have students that use Facebook.
Absolutely.
How do you feel?
I love Facebook. I mean, let's be honest. It's so easy, you know, you're messaging your friends, you're bored in class at his computers especially, you're always on Facebook, you're stalking people. It's fun, it's a lot of fun. The only thing that sucks though, mom gets it.
Oh, mom has Facebook. Anyone
like
can make a Facebook account. One of the criteria to have Facebook is you have to have a certain profile. You have to fill out your name, your location, and pretty much everything about your life.
Right, and a lot of times what's really tough about it is you get pictures on there tagged of you, that's what they call it, tagging, that aren't really appropriate. You may take your name off of it, but it's still going to be there, and it can be really compromising sometimes.
Sometimes there's issues like stalking or
You've had a Facebook stalk.
We've all had Facebook stalkers. I mean, there's actually, I think, a new application that you can see who's actually looking at your Facebook page. A little bit creepy. Maybe mom's watching and, you know, checking up on you once in a while.
I don't know. I think it's creepy. It's good if I had it, but if anyone else had it and saw what I was looking at, I don't know if I'd really like that. You know what I mean? Not that I'm.
Another interesting way that college students use the internet is for job applications. The one downfall about it is that students have to make their resume look perfect. They send their resume in via internet, but the problem is that the person that's reading the application never meets the student. So you might have a wonderful personality, but your application might not be as great.
Right. If you're not a good writer, you don't have strong writing skills, you're donezo. If you have one little problem with it, you're done. But you know what? I gotta go check my Facebook. Let's wrap this up.
Oh, me too. Thanks for watching News 22. I'm Simone Oliva.
I'm James Wolfe. We'll see you next week, guys.
My first experience with drinking.
My first experience drinking.
I went shot for shot with a bunch of guys.
Gulped down the whole thing.
We finished a liter.
I drank a little bit too much.
There was a lot of vomiting. I ended up passed out in a closet.
I had to go to the hospital because I was sick. Found out that one of my real close friends was in the hospital.
I was 13. 14.
15.
13.
Whoa, what are you doing?
Throwing out my trash.
Don't you recycle?
Recycle?
Yes, it says toss bottles here.
Oh, all right.
Recycling prevents about 64 million tons of material from ending up in landfills every year. Eastern Connecticut State University makes it easy for students to do their part in recycling materials they use every day. Bins and containers for bottles, cans, and paper are located all over the campus. Recycling is as simple as separating your trash and tossing the recyclables into a 90-gallon bin near the dumpster located outside your resident hall. Reduce, reuse, and recycle Eastern.
Impossible. It's never too early to start reading to your kids. Are you prepared for what awaits you? There are amazing possibilities when you open a child's mind to reading. Log on to the Library of Congress website and let the journey begin.
Poet Jeffrey Thompson will read from his work on March 18th at 4 p.m. in room 301 of the Science Building. Some of his poetry collections consist of the Halo Brace, Renovation, and his most recent, Birdwatching in Wartime. What a great way for Eastern students to start off their spring break.
Lisa Guernsey, a former New York Times education and technology reporter, will discuss the effect of television on children at 3 p.m. on April 1st in the Student Center Theater. Guernsey will discuss the findings of her book, Into the Minds of Babes, How Screen Time Affects Children from Birth to Age 5. Guernsey's discussion will explore the age at which children begin showing evidence of learning from what they see on screen and how early childhood providers can make informed decisions about screen time.
Stepping into the library is like reliving the past. Right now, the Carl Lutz Holocaust exhibit is on display in the J. Eugene Smith Library. Karl Lutz was a Swiss diplomat living in Budapest during the Second World War. The 5 displays tell Lutz's story and how he managed to save over 60,000 Hungarian Jews. The exhibit will be on display in the library until March 21st.
This week, the Student Government Association had an SGA Day. SGA provides students a liaison to the higher administration and departments so they can voice their opinions and ask questions. Some of the departments that work with SGA include campus safety, financial aid, advisement, dining services, ITS, housing, and more. During SGA Day, members of the organization provided students with further information about SGA while they filled out surveys about their campus concerns and identified issues. SGA will be having elections for senators and officers for next semester. Stay tuned to News 22 to hear the further candidates' platforms.
A Special Olympics swim meet sponsored by the Community Service Office is taking place on Saturday, March 14th at Windham High School. Over 200 Special Olympic athletes are set to participate in swim competition. Some Windham Street apartment residents are assisting with this event and will help out the participants during the swim meet.
Tuesday, March 17th is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day celebrates St. Patrick, one of the patron saints of Ireland. Legend credits Patrick with banishing snakes from Ireland. St. Patrick was one of the earliest Christian missionaries. St. Patrick's Day is celebrated worldwide by both Irish and non-Irish descent. So dress in your brightest green, raise a pint of Guinness, shot of Jameson, and a glass of Baileys and a toast to celebrate the Irish spirit.
St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Crandall Hall will be hosting a St. Paddy's Day event open to all students. Residents will learn about the original Irish traditions of St. Patrick's Day. There will be a Luck of the Irish scratch-off scavenger hunt and a Blarney Stone decorating contest. Residents can also sign up for a Guitar Hero 3 competition and prizes will be awarded. Green cupcakes and assorted themed foods will be served, including a Blarney Stone punch. Irish music will be played and there will be a chocolate fountain with green chocolate. Be sure to stop by for some fun and games next Monday.
Are you feeling blue? This Sunday, the Blue Man Group will be performing their theatrical show in Boston. They are a creative organization dedicated to creating exciting, generating experiences for all types of audiences. Students who are interested in attending the show buy tickets at the Student Center Information Desk. $35 for students, $40 for guests.
American Idol fans find that 13th is in fact an unlucky number. This season, instead of the usual 12 final contestants, there are 13. If people had called the contestant voting ending with 13, they would have been connected to a phone sex line. Producers of the show had to change the last 2 digits of the 13 performer to 36.
Comedian Jeff Keith visited Eastern's campus for some laughs. News 22 reporter Carmen Chow has the story. Jeff Keith visited Eastern for some humorous times.
Apparently not all the girls had boyfriends. They didn't care who got them pregnant. One girl admitted to sleeping with a homeless man she barely knew. Oh, yeah. Best part, right? That's gross, I agree. Let's agree on one other thing. That is the best day in homeless man history.
Students arrived early at the Betty Tipton Room to pick up their tickets to reserve the best seating to watch Jeff Keith. Jeff Keith began performing stand-up comedy at the end of 2003. Since then, he has been making a name for himself. The audience and the industry have both been taking notice. Currently, Keith is touring the country performing at colleges and comedy clubs alike. I spoke with Jeff Keith to find out his views on being a comedian.
Comedy club, there's not as many people groaning. Like, this show is good, though. You guys are really cool at Eastern Connecticut State University Warriors. But sometimes college shows, they're a little more touchy, you know what I mean? Because they're not like adults yet, really. Like, they're adults technically, but they haven't like had as much life experience, so they'll groan at a lot of stuff. But there really wasn't a lot of that.
I'm going to exaggerate some things up here. I hope you know what the comedy show is going to be like. I've got some more time left, and there's a chance that everything I say might be based on fact, slightly exaggerated, to hopefully get some laughs.
Be sure to check out his upcoming shows for more laughs. I am. If you would like to know his upcoming show dates and location or to catch a glimpse of his previous shows, visit Jeff Keats' website.
The Harry Hope Theater is still seeking ushers for its spring performances. Ushers get to see all the performances in the spring for free. Ushers are required to wear black pants and a white shirt. Show up 90 minutes prior to the performance, help set up and clean up for a performance, hand out programs, seat patrons, take tickets at the door, and any other simple duties. If you are interested, sign up on the sign-up sheet outside the Harry Hope box office.
Whoever said women did not have power? Next Tuesday, a film made by Max Dashu will be shown to students and staff regarding women power. It will provide a panoramic view of female leadership, creativity, wisdom, and courage spanning thousands of years. The film looks at female spheres of power in politics, economics, religion, medicine, arts, and letters, featuring a rich tapestry of famous women, ancient and modern. The film will begin at 3:30 in the Student Center.
Come enjoy a theatrical performance of the Vagina Monologues on Friday, March 13th at 7 o'clock in the Student Center Theater. This event is sponsored by the Women's Center and will feature a number of Eastern's actresses who will reenact different monologues about issues regarding women, such as dealing with violence and learning to fully accept their bodies.
It's time to grab a blanket and popcorn and watch a movie. On Tuesday, March 17, Bedtime Stories will be shown in the Student Center Theater. The movie is about a man who tells his niece and nephew bedtime stories which actually become true for him. The event is free of charge and free backpacks will be given to the first 20 people.
Stay tuned for this week's sports update after the break.
Fire safety is an important part of our well-being on campus. By taking precautions and making smart decisions, fires can be avoided. Be aware of overloaded electrical outlets. Don't leave cooking unattended, and make sure paper and other flammable materials are not placed near the stove. Preventing a fire is important, but knowing what to do if one occurs is just as important. The alarm sounds, don't panic, and evacuate immediately. Refer to your residential hall office for the quickest and safest route, and remember, never take an elevator during a fire. For more information, visit us at www.easterncct.edu/DEPTS/police.
Listen up, Energy Hogs. We got a real porker of a house here. Get in there and waste some energy.
There's no insulation, boss. It's hog heaven.
Leaky windows, too. This is gonna be a breeze. Perfect. Go wild and waste some wattage.
Time to tan. Oh, there's hot water for just one pair of pants. My kind of place. This thing's so old, it's gonna take me hours to get dry.
Keep wasting. They'll never know what hit them till they hit the energy bill.
Boss, they're home. Energy efficient bulbs.
You've got the power to get rid of Energy Hogs. You can help your parents add insulation, put in Energy Star appliances, and lots of other things to make your home hog-free. Find out how at energyhog.org and play fun games, too.
Oh, retreat! Retreat!
Go to energyhog.org and get the Energy Hogs out of your home.
Hey, wait for me!
We're back, and with us we have Tyler Tupper with this week's sports update.
Thanks, ladies. To start off this week in sports, we have a baseball update. On Friday the 13th, the men's baseball team will be making up a postponed game against Farmingdale State University. The game was originally scheduled for March 8th. The makeup will be played at 4 p.m. in Farmingdale, New York. The next two games will also be played in New York. One Saturday the 14th against Albertus Magnus College at 2:30 p.m. and the next being Sunday the 15th against SUNY Old Westbury, also at 2:30. Make sure to check that out. In track this week, the first outdoor track and field meet will be the Connecticut College Invite on Saturday, March 21st in New London, Connecticut. Both the men and women's teams will be competing. Our favorite club team, rugby, will be traveling on Saturday the 14th to Rhode Island for its first game at Bryant University. Good luck, guys. The season hasn't started yet for the women's softball team, but high expectations hover over them. First baseman Rachel Denny has been named to the 2009 second-team preseason All-American team. Denny was of 5 players from New England institutions listed, 3 of whom came from the Little East Conference. Last year, Denny was named second-team All-New England by the ECAC. Denny helped Eastern to a share of last year's conference regular season title and a berth in its first NCAA tournament since 1998 by setting program season records for home runs with 11, RBIs with 50, and a slugging percentage of .783. The men's lacrosse team started off strong with a 15-8 win over Babson College. Sophomore midfielder Eric Vassell dominated the faceoff circle by winning 14 of 15 faceoffs and also picking up 14 ground balls and scored 3 goals to lead Eastern. Sophomore attack Ryan Fitchman had 3 goals, while senior attack Matt Savage tacked on 1 goal and 3 assists. Senior goalie Kyle Savage made 10 saves before departing in charge of a 12-4 lead early in the fourth quarter. Well, that's it for sports. Have a great weekend, Eastern.
That's our show. I'm Carmen Chow.
And I'm Michelle Dracy. Have a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day.